Mabuhay Pilipinas! Pakinggan natin ngayon ang mga testimony ng ating mga senador tungkol sa pagsasara o pag-total ban sa lahat ng mga online gamings and platform sa buong Pilipinas. Kung bago ka pa lang sa aking channel, huwag kalimutang mag-subscribe, likes at hit the notification bell para laging updated sa ating susunod na mga i-upload na videos.
Pending referral to this committee. And now please allow me to deliver my opening statement. My esteemed colleagues, distinguished government officials present, our fellow Filipinos watching these proceedings, good morning. Good morning. Narito po tayo ngayon upang harapin ang isang salot na sumisira sa ating mga tahanan, nagdudulot ng pagkakawatak-watak ng ating mga pamilya at kumikitil po sa kinakbukasan ng ating mga kabataan. Ang salot na ito, walang iba ay ang online gambling. Let me say this at the very start. It does not matter whether it is legal or illegal, licensed or unlicensed. Online gambling is destroying our lives. Itigil na po natin ito. Let us not sugarcoat the truth. Behind the glossy advertisements and the so-called regulation is a multi-billion peso industry that thrives on addiction. Addiction that drives fathers to abandon their responsibilities, push mothers into crippling debt, and leaves children to grow up in broken homes. We have students dropping out of school, not for lack of intelligence, but because online gambling consumes their time, allowance, and will to learn. We have workers whose productivity has collapsed, not out of laziness, but because they spend the night chasing their losses on their phones. We have families driven to ruin, individuals pushed to suicide because of this addiction. And yet, this industry persists sa ilalim pa ng mga lisensya ng gobyerno mismo ang nagbigay. PAGCOR, you were created to regulate and control games of chances, supposedly for the benefit of the nation. But no less than the Department of Finance recently reported that 60% of the online gambling operations are illegal. From September 2022 to August 6, 2025, 11,985 illegal online gambling sites have been identified, of which 6,363 are online casino games, 236 are offshore sites, and 4,813 are links for online sabong. More than 3,000 of these illegal online gambling sites remain active, and that is not even counting the unidentified platforms. PAGCOR, your continued licensing of online gambling operators has fueled this epidemic. You cannot claim innocence when your revenues are stained with tears of families you helped destroy. Research from the Senate Economic Planning Office reveals that PAGCOR's gross gaming revenue surged by 309% in 2024, mainly attributable to e-casinos and electronic games. That's approximately 100 billion pesos built on gambling and addiction. Pinagbawalan natin ang Pogo, nagsilipatan naman sa Pigo. Ang masama, Pilipino mismo ang biktima at kawawa ngayon, unlike sa Pogo, mga Chinese at foreigners po ang biktima. Mas mahalaga ba ang bilyong-bilyong pisong kita kaysa sa pagkawasak ng maraming pamilyang Pilipino? Pagkasibak sa trabaho ng mga manggagawa o mga estudyante na tumigil sa pag-aaral? At ang pinakamasaklap at higit na hindi katanggap-tanggap ay ang pagkitil ng sariling buhay dahil sa sugal na pinapayagan po ng pamahalaan. DICT, you control our country's digital infrastructure. Yet these online gambling platforms continue to operate freely. Their servers running and their payment systems working uninterrupted. Where is the digital protection our people deserve? Paano napabayaan at lumaki ng ganito? Bakit kayo nagiging kasangkapan pa ng mga online gambling companies para wasakin ang buhay ng marami-rami nating kababayan. Bakit? To our law enforcement agencies, how many times have we seen raids announced only for these illegal operators to pop up again the next week, the next month, sometimes in the very same location? These people see this pattern, or the people see this pattern, and they are beginning to suspect, kulang lang ba kayo sa aksyon o meron kayong pinoprotektahan? Ano po ba ang kasagutan kung bakit hindi masugpo-sugpo ang illegal online gambling kasama na po ang online sabong? Bakit? Ladies and gentlemen, the truth is harsh, but it must be spoken as long as online gambling exists. We are breeding the next generation of addicts, debtors, and broken families. No amount of tax revenue can justify this human cost. Bilyon-bilyon man ang kitain po ng ating bayan mula sa online gambling, ngunit kung ang katumbas naman ito ay pagkakawatak-watak ng mga pamilya at wasak na kinabukasan ng mga kabataan, wala rin po itong saysay. Right now, we face two policy paths: a complete ban on all forms of online gambling or stricter and more effective regulation. Kung ako lamang po ang tatanungin, I stand firm on this. We must shut it down completely. Ban it, criminalize it, block every platform, seize every server, and prosecute not only the operators but also the enablers in government and in the private sector who profit from this misery. Nevertheless, as the chairperson of this panel, I will be open to hearing the positions of all stakeholders who are responsible and affected by this industry. But let this committee send a strong message. The Philippines will not be a playground for gambling syndicates, whether foreign or local, legal or illegal. Our youth are not for sale. Our families are not collateral damage. We are legislators sworn to protect the people, and in the face of this crisis, there is only one moral choice, ladies and gentlemen: end online gambling now. Maraming salamat po.
Miyembro ng Iglesia ni Cristo, kaya kapag ako po ay nagsugal, matitiwalag po ako. Kaya alam na po ninyo kung anong posisyon ko dito. Kaya lang, bago po natin gawin ang dapat gawin, gusto ko malaman kung gaano tayo kahanda. Halimbawa, total ban. Noong total ban ang ating napag-usapan. Gaano tayo kaseryoso? Kasi po, kunwari, yung online gambling platforms, naisara nating lahat. Eh, paano yung wetting? Ako po, grade 1 pa lang ako, may wetting na sa amin. Hanggang ngayon, nandun pa rin po. So, nagsasara tayo, pero bukas tayo sa iba. So, baka mamaya sabihin ng tao, hindi naman totoo yung pinagsasabi ng mga senador na ito. Gusto ko po, seryosohan. Gaano po tayo kaseryoso na gawin natin lahat to? Kasi po, tingnan ninyo, sa public administration, meron po tayong mga key principles in public policy. Ang nakaakma pong key principle in public policy sa ganitong klaseng suliranin, yung pong tinatawag nilang Pareto efficiency. Minsan tinatawag pa rin itong Pareto optimality. Ano po ibig sabihin nun? It describes a situation where a state is supposed to allocate resources in a way that makes it impossible to make one very happy, but also making the other very, very sad. Tingnan po ninyo, in accordance with the charter and the governing board of the PAGCOR, yung earnings are distributed as follows. 5% of winning goes to BIR as franchise tax. 50% of the 90% balance goes to the National Treasury as national government mandated income share. Cities hosting PAGCOR casinos are given fixed amount for their respective community projects. Ito po yung pang corporate income tax. 5% of the balance after the franchise tax and national government mandated income share goes to the Philippine Sports Commission for the country's sports development programs. 1% of net income goes to the Board of Claims. Dangerous Drugs Board, 5 million a month. It provides funds for the implementation of comprehensive dangerous drugs, for the establishment, maintenance, operation of drug rehabilitation centers, and the Sports Incentives and Benefits Act. PAGCOR is also in coordination with the Department of Energy, ay ini-implement po nila yung RA 9153 or the Renewable Energy Act of 2008. Batas mo yata ito, Senator Zubiri. Okay, funding which will be sourced from 15% of PAGCOR's annual net income. Remaining balance of PAGCOR's income is remitted to the social fund to sustain the priority projects of the Office of the President. 50% of the national government share from PAGCOR's gaming income shall be transferred to PhilHealth to fund the Universal Healthcare Center. Okay, paano po ngayon yan? Napakaraming tatamaan ngayon. Paano natin sasagutin ngayon ng biglaan sa ating mga kababayan to? Nang hindi tayo pagsususpetsahan na, gagaling-galingan ng mga senador na ito, pero baka wala ring magawa. Gusto nating iban talaga. Ako po, number one, gusto ko ring iban yan. But let's face it, bakit po naging salot ito, sabi ng ating chairman? Gaano kalaki yung salot? Bakit lumaki yung salot? Anong ginagawa ng PAGCOR? Ang PAGCOR po, sa aking pagkakaalam, kayo po ang may mandato nito. Presidential Decree 1869 as amended by PD 1993, Executive Order 260, at saka RA 9487. Whereas, sabi po niya rito, let me read this, Mr. Chair. PAGCOR's operation has enabled the government to identify the potential sources of additional revenue, provided games of chance are strictly managed and made subject to close scrutiny, regulation, supervision, and control of the government. Bakit nagkaroon ng breakdown ng control, ng supervision, ng scrutiny? Bakit sangayon ngayon sa mga nagsipagsalita ng mga kasama ko ay lumala ng lumala and we're facing a social ogre siguro. Ano po ang ginagawa ng DICT, for example? Kayo po ay magbabantay din dito. So ito po lahat pag-usapan muna natin. Sino-sino po ba ang may-ari ng mga online game platforms? Siguro po kailangan isubmit sa atin ang PAGCOR. Sino po yung malalaki talaga? Halimbawa po, sino ang may-ari ng AB Leisure Exponent Inc.? Sino yung may-ari ng Gabin Ventures Inc., GVI? Sino yung may-ari ng Playmate Leisure Solutions Corporation? Sino may-ari ng PhilWeb Corporation? 4 lang po yung babanggitin ko. I was informed that these 4 online gaming operators corner more than 80% of the entire market for this gambling operation. Sino po itong mga lalaki? Kilala ko po lahat ito, kaya lang gusto ko marinig sa PAGCOR. Isasubmit nyo po ba sa komite kung sino-sino ang may-ari ng mga gaming platforms na ito? Mr. PAGCOR, can you make a commitment na isubmit po ninyo?
Your Honor, we will submit the list and the beneficial owners of all the companies that not only you have mentioned, but lahat na po yung kulang 70 lang po kasi may lisensya.
Meron pong purely online lang, merong physical casino at meron ding online casino.
Opo, Your Honor. Amin pong isusumite ang 2 uri ng pagmamayari na inyong tinatanong. Una po, yung sa land-based casinos, yun po yung tinatawag ng mga integrated resorts. So kung saan yun po ay may mga iba't ibang pag-aari din. Ngayon, meron din po yung mga land-based casinos na yon na integrated resorts. Sila po ay meron ding online gaming na negosyo na kalaki po sa kanilang lisensya. At bukod po doon po sa online gaming companies, isusumiti po namin sa committee yung pong pangalan, una yung pangalan nung may lisensya, pangalan ng lisensya, at pangalawa po ay kung sino po ang mga beneficial owners nito. Kulang 70 po lahat, Your Honor. Isusumiti po namin lahat yon sa committee.
Ang siguro po, Mr. Chair, ang kailangan natin para mas maging malinaw, sino yung official owner, sino yung beneficial owner, sino yung gaming system administrator, ano yung mga games. Katulad po ng halimbawa, itong AB Leisure Exponent Inc. Yung mga games niya po, ito yung DG Plus, Arena Plus, Bingo Plus. Ito po yata yung nag-sponsor nung isang concert. Ngayon lang, pati po ako ay kanyang idinawit. Nagpapatawa po siya. Nakita niya yung dating Senador Grace po na nagtatawa. Natawa po at siguro naging successful siya. Napatawa. Tingnan niyo yung mukha ni Marcoleta kung matatawa kayo. Napakawalang hiya nung tao na yun, Mr. Chair. Nag-sponsor po yung DG Plus. Kaya po lumalaki po eh. Gumagamit po sila ng mga ganong klaseng mga sikat na mga tao. So, alam ko po malaking pag-uusap ito, Mr. Chair. At alam ko, I think the PAGCOR and the DICT will be struggling to reinvent themselves kung paano ma-address ito. Halimbawa, mapag-usapan natin total ban. Paano kaya ang gagawin nila? Sa ngayon pa lang, Mr. Chair, I would suggest, kung nandito po yung representative ng BSP, na silang nagre-regulate po ng mga e-wallets. I believe, Mr. Chair, the BSP should issue a suspension order to e-wallet platforms to deny links to all these online game platforms para wala na pag-uusapan. Can the BSP do that?
Good morning, Mr. Chair, Your Honor. Yes, as the Monetary Board of the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas has approved our policy that we direct the BSP supervised institutions to take down and remove all icons and links redirecting to online gambling sites.
Today, we'll hear directly from some of these online gambling victims themselves. Their voices will remind us that online gambling is not just a policy issue. It is a crisis that destroys families, livelihood, and futures. We hope that their first-hand accounts will emphasize the urgency of eliminating online gambling once and for all. We have with us a family from Bukidnon who lost their son to suicide after he incurred an online gambling debt that he could not pay. He is one among many Filipinos pushed to tragic and desperate ends because of online gambling. Just this month, again in Bukidnon, there was a police corporal who robbed a convenience store at gunpoint, reportedly for his online gambling. He stole 12,000 from the register before he was arrested. La Trinidad, a 22-year-old boy, was reported to have committed suicide due to online gambling debts. In Banbantayan, Cebu, a man was reported to have murdered 3 people due to an argument over online gambling winnings. And in Cebu City, an 18-year-old was arrested for killing a 45-year-old, also after arguing about online gambling winnings. I would dare to say, my dear friends, colleagues, and the Filipino people, it is possible that more people have died and criminality has increased due to online gambling more than pogos. That is blood in your hands to the operators and regulators. These stories reveal the ugly truth of online gambling. It is not at all just fun and games, as colorful advertisements would like us to believe. But I want to draw back from these personal stories for a moment so we can look at the bigger picture on online gambling. How large is the industry and how many people have fallen victim to it? Last time I talked about the shameful status that we hold now as the gambling capital of Asia, with 79 casinos surpassing Cambodia with 48, Macau with 47, Vietnam with 40, and South Korea 32. Number 1 tayo sa sugalan. Nakakahiya at nakakadismaya. At brick and mortar casinos pa lang po ito. With online gambling, baka lampas na tayo sa number 1. Online gambling is growing at an astronomical pace here in the Philippines. We just have to look at the gross gaming revenues for online gambling to see how fast the industry has grown in such a short amount of time. These gross gaming revenues, or GGR, to explain, is the gambling industry's metric that reflects bets minus winnings. It is in 2022 that we'd start seeing huge jumps in online gambling gross gaming revenues. The industry made a big leap from 8 billion during the pandemic or before the pandemic to more than double the year before. And in 2023, online gambling raked 33.16 billion, marking a whooping 414% growth in 2022. Last year was even a better year for the industry. Online gambling was making a gross gaming revenue of 131.7 billion. And for the first half of this year alone, online gambling has already made 106.53 billion in gross gaming revenues. Without a ban in sight, we can well expect this figure to blow up for another banner year for the online gaming industry. Mr. Chair, to illustrate, from 2020 to 2024, the industry grew by 5,564%. Unbelievable. And yet it is real. And yes, they can say that this is good news because bigger gross gaming revenue is bigger taxes, bigger contributions to national development. But that is a generous view of a dire situation because the truth is that massive revenue is from the pockets galing sa bulsa ng ating masang Pilipino, hardworking middle-class Filipinos, not foreigners, not rich people, just working class, regular working class people. Sa mga casinos, mga high-income rollers pa po yan. Pero sa online gambling, mga wage earners po ang nabibiktima. Mga jeepney drivers, mga tindero at tindera, mga stay-away home nanay, pati mga estudyante. At pati na yon, ang mga OFW galit na po dahil pinapadala nila nauubos sa online gambling. How do we explain the extraordinary growth of online gambling industry? The biggest culprit, Mr. Chairman, is the accessibility and ease of transactions. Napakaganda talaga ng integration ng digital wallets at mga online gambling sites. Napakadaling tumaya at mag-withdraw, mag-top up at tumaya muli. Kasi ilang click lang yan online, tapos na. Hindi mo na kailangan lumabas ng bahay. Napakabilis ng transaction, napaka-convenient maglaro, mag-scatter. GCash alone has a user base of 94 million people. That is 81% of our entire population. And of that 94 million, over 3 million users have availed of G-loans, G-gives, G-credit services. If you have GCash, Mr. Chair, or PayMaya, you might know that the whole section is dedicated to leisure and enjoyment. And under this umbrella, you will find a link that is labeled Games. Click on this and it will lead you out of GCash app and straight to the page of hardcore licensed online gambling operators. All this can now be used by using your GCash account. And if you lose and run out of money, all these e-wallets from GCash to PayMaya, walang problema. You can apply for GCash loans and loans in other e-wallets. Walang problema, tuloy ang saya. Mr. President and Mr. Chairman, Capistrano Intel Corporation ran a survey on online betting. They found that 64% of respondents are engaged in online gambling. No doubt the number of online gamblers in 2025 has gone higher. According to Bridges of Hope, a rehabilitation center, which is represented here by John T., with 15 facilities across the country, 7 out of 10 clients that they treat now are for online gambling addiction. Hindi na po substance abuse, gambling addiction na po. Another support group, Recovering Gamblers of the Philippines, also has seen more online gamblers come in for help. And in just 2 years, the composition of recovering clients changed from 60% online gamblers and 40% online casino gamblers rather, to 90% online gamblers and 10% casino gamblers. And according to the World Health Organization, every high-risk gambler affects an average of 6 people. Pamilya po nila yan at mga kasama sa trabaho. A chain effect of lives destroyed by online gambling. Mga kaibigang inutangan ng mga magulang ninakawan, mga anak na napabayaan. These numbers are only going to get worse and longer if we allow online gambling to go on. We need the political will to stop this. Even our neighbors, Mr. Chairman, Indonesia has already cracked down on online gambling. This month alone, they froze 26,000 bank accounts used for online gambling activities. The social minister even warned that many of their beneficiaries of their own Ayuda program has already used the funds for online gambling wagers and revoked assistance to these individuals dahil ginagamit ngayong Ayuda para sa online gambling. Like us, Indonesia sees that online gambling is targeting low-income communities. They saw the problem and they're now taking a hardline measure against it. Tayo po kaya, Mr. Chair, kikilos pa rin tayo o hintayin na lang natin na lalong malulong ang ating mga kababayan, ang mga pamilya mawawasak, kinabukasan po nila ay mawawala na po dahil sa online gambling sa Pilipinas. So I'm hopeful, Mr. Chairman, that this hearing will enlighten us on just how deep the problem runs and how we can find a way out of this. Maraming salamat, Mr. Chair.
Maraming salamat. Mabuhay ang Pilipinas at mabuhay